Okay, so this exercise will help the novice rider keep a nice rhythm to a jump. It's great if you tend to fiddle a little in front of the jump, which a lot of novice riders tend to do. This exercise will help set you up for a good takeoff spot for some of the jumps, and the others are for you to practice figuring it out for yourself. And because young horses are quite difficult to get good takeoff spots on, this will benefit you as well. You will also be able to introduce your horse to a bounce in this exercise. They're excellent to help with young horses' balance, agility and strength. The warm-up exercise over cavalettis in the beginning is also super important to help with accuracy for the rider and adjustability for the young horse. So this setup isn't extremely complicated, but as always, when you're trying to cram a lot in, you have to be aware of the paths you'll be riding and take care that the jumps don't get in the way. So let's start off with the line down the bottom long side of your arena. So it's a cavaletti, 4 strides to a vertical, and it walks 18 paces. Next, you set up this line diagonally across your arena. It's 2 cavalettis set up as a bounce and then 4 strides to an oxer. So the measurements are 3 paces for the bounce, and from the second cavaletti to the oxer it walks 19 paces for the 4 strides. Next, you set up another 4 stride line also going diagonally across your arena. It's a vertical to an oxer and it rides down on 4 strides, and this one walks 20 paces. Then in this little spot here, you set up an oxer at an angle like so, making sure you can get this ride away from it. Then, kind of squeezed in the corner like so, you set up these 2 cavalettis as a bounce with a placing pole in front of them. So it's 3 paces between the cavalettis for the bounce, and I did 2.5 paces for the placing pole. And finally, you set up these 2 cavalettis across your arena like this, making sure you can ride to both of them on a, well, kind of circle like so. And that's it, you're all set up and ready to go. Don't forget the link to the JPEG of the course plan is in the description below, so you can build easily off your phone. So please don't underestimate the usefulness of this part of the exercise. Cavaletti work for the novice rider is where you learn how to see a stride. It may be difficult at first and you may make loads of mistakes, but with practice you will improve and it will carry through to your jumping. For the novice horse, this is where you train adjustability. The more time you spend doing this, the easier it'll be to jump your young horse. The sport is tough, so the easier you can make it for yourself, the more successful you'll be. So it's simple, you do the 2 cavalettis on a circle on both reins. I would include this part of the exercise on your flat work days as well. So this is where you can introduce your horse to a bounce. They're pretty straightforward and your horse should pick them up quite quickly. So you approach them at a trot, and as you're about to go over the placing pole, you put your leg on so your horse goes into a canter, and it should just canter over them. Make them nice and small until he figures them out. It may not be the worst idea to set aside a session to get this part done before moving on to the rest of the exercise. So this is the part of the exercise that is set up to help you find a good takeoff spot to the jumps. You really just need to get a decent ride over the cavaletti, and your ride to the jump should work out well as far as takeoff spots are concerned. The novice rider really needs to focus on the jump after the cavaletti and try to see a stride to the jump. This will help train your eye to see a stride without fiddling too much, and to see a stride off a nice forward rhythm. And the young horse, you should be consistently getting a good takeoff spot to a jump from a canter, which will help build your horse's confidence and allow him to develop the correct jumping technique. Both are critical in the development of a young show jumper. As always, stay small until you are consistently doing it well. Once you're doing part 2 well and it almost feels a little boring, you're ready to do the whole exercise. Remember to keep the jumps where you need to find your takeoff spots for small until you're doing them well, and then you can try them a little bigger. Awesome, you made it to the end. So you're the type of person that will really enjoy this channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and I'll keep the videos coming.